That was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be
forward.
like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have
Corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
My name is Enrico Grobler. I'm 16 years old and I'm a student at the Settlers High School.
I'm Christel Redinghuis. We own a transport company.
I'm Kobus Grobler and I'm a media officer.
My name is Werner Schweller. I'm an ANC councillor of the city of Cape Town.
My name is Ulrika Hannekom and I work at a laboratory that does stem cell storage.
I'm Karen Grobler. I'm a housewife.
I don't see myself as an Afrikaner first. I see myself as a South African. I've been born here and I grew up in South Africa in a very cosmopolitan kind of environment. So whenever I look at myself, I don't see Afrikaner. I am Afrikaans, I speak Afrikaans. But it doesn't bother me, it's not a chip on my shoulder. It's not a very unique kind of thing. I understand a lot of Afrikaans people's worries when it comes to their language and the environment and adapting to different circumstances in South Africa. But I don't see it as a threat. Some may perceive it like that. But it's also an opportunity. In a country of opportunities. It's a chance to show your worth and contribute to the larger society, the economy, and in your community.
I'm coming out of the real establishment of the Afrikaner. I was like my dad was born in South Africa, but my forefathers is German, and my mother was a Dutch speaker, or like Van Zyl was her surname. Then I grew up in an Afrikaans community. I went to Afrikaans school and all that. But also later on I went into the cultural side of the Afrikaner. I'm a member at this stage still of the ATKV, Afrikaanse Taal en Kultuurvereniging. But I was also a member of, and if you will remember in the years past, there was the Broederbond. I was a member of the Broederbond. I was also a member of the Junior Broederbond, which was called the Ruiterwag. So I went through that, but also I went through some trouble spots because at one stage my father was a Freemason, and it was very difficult for the Afrikaans-speaking people to make that connection where a person comes out of the Freemason side to get. I was like, when my name came up in the Afrikaner wisdom, or so, then I know there was a lot of discussions, but how can he become a part of the establishment? Because his father is a Freemason. So that was a very interesting time in my life also. But today I'm not afraid to be called an Afrikaans-speaking South African. I'm very proud of that, and like I said, I'm also very proud that I'm a member of the African National Congress.
I'm also a member of the ANC. I'm also on the BEC on our branch, ANC branch. I'm a member of the BEC, and we, the four of us, also members of the BEC. So it's difficult for white people to say you are an ANC member and they tell you words that's incredible.
When I joined up in 2002, the ANC, I was really welcomed by my black comrades. There wasn't a problem with that. At that stage, the president of today, President Zuma, they welcomed us. Him personally welcomed us when we joined up in the ANC. But yes, I got a lot of flack from my Afrikaans-speaking community. I can tell you today, it was not nice. When I did go out to do some canvassing for the African National Congress, it went I was called names, which I don't want to, but really bad names, like a K Booty, and I was also called, I'm sleeping with the maids and all that, it was, and sometimes it hurts, but at one stage I thought to myself, why must I be afraid in what I believe? If I believe in something, why must I be afraid of a lot of people who doesn't want to be part of the new South Africa? I must not be afraid, and that's why I live out mine. But also, I also be honest with you today, is that if I do service delivery to the community, I've got an email group of approximately 600 people who's on that email group. If I do service delivery, I don't ask a person, are you belonging to a certain party? Then I take on the problem and I try to resolve that problem. So then politics doesn't play a role because it's a service delivery, but also sometimes you must also be honest that there is a lot of discrimination still in this country.
But isn't it better than 2000 or 2002 when you joined?
It is better, yes, it's better.
Acceptable.
More acceptable, yes, because in the beginning, when I did canvassing with an ANC t-shirt at ShopRite Checkers, I was chased away, I was all that, so it's becoming better. And the other problem, if I'm honest with you also now, is that when we joined up that stage, we were called the traitors, like you said, and that, but now I was elected as an ANC councillor. And you see, I think that also made a difference. I wasn't not anymore seen as a person who has just went over and that. But some people want still to hang it around your neck. They still want to make you believe that you are now a person who's just joined the ANC for some benefits. I didn't join the ANC for benefits. If I joined the ANC for benefits, I would have been today, say, a rich man, but I'm still a poor man.
Interesting about the email group and the people that come to Werner, and I know some of it because I see that I'm on the email group itself. It's Afrikaans people, and then they go to him to solve their problems and not to their own councillor. So they'd rather go to the opposition councillor and ask for his assistance, which is very ironical because they're not going to vote for him.
And they say that, yeah.
And they say that.
They tell him straight out, we're not voting for you, but we need your help because the other ones don't help him.
2 years ago, I was also standing for as a councillor here in Ward 2 in Boston, a part of Barrow. And as a white woman, there was a lot of trouble. You know, the white men found you, and there was a lot of trouble. And but I was not winning the election 2 years ago. But today, there's still people that phone me that I must help and solve their problems. They don't phone the other lady or the other councillor that was winning the ward. And it is sorry, but there's a political party that's telling the people they want still the apartheidsjare back. You vote for the party to make the ward white. And I don't think you will go forward in this way. To tell people, especially older people, vote for me, then we'll keep the ward white.
I don't apologize for apartheid. I, in fact, resisted the regime. So I don't feel guilty about anything. And I don't think guilt is the solution. What I do think is that a lot of people need to come to grips with and to terms with what the situation in South Africa is at present. Some try to cocoon themselves in their nice environment, the community where they stay, little gated area or the high-walled area.
Secure job and secure everything.
They still have their jobs, they have their pensions, it hasn't been taken away. They still have their wealth and their family and the comfort zone around them. They still stay in their areas. And for that reason, they really didn't take into consideration the fact that we are a highly diverse society. There are so many people who live in utter squalor in this country. More than half don't really get a living wage, or a minimum, barely minimum living wage. They stay in makeshift houses built with salvaged material. These are the realities of South Africa. And if you don't work to improve those kind of people's lives or assist in whatever way you can, you're in the wrong place.
I mean, if you must apologize for everything that has happened in the past, you'll never go forward. And that's a big problem. Some people expect from us to keep on apologizing. I say stop here and carry on and bury the past. What is done is done. We can't change that. But we can carry on. And that's important.
I did not work for apartheid. I did not build apartheid. I've worked for it to be taken down. So I don't revel in it, but I am very proud for the fact that I did make contributions at the different levels. Even in my work where there was discrimination, I fought it and I exposed it. And to some extent, I ridiculed it for what it was. It is an utterly stupid system. Most of it was an entrenchment of class and things that we inherited through the English colonial period in South Africa. You find this even in the military today, where you have for ordinary troops a toilet next to one for non-commissioned officers, for warrant officers, junior officers and senior officers. You've got a whole row of different toilets, and they're all people.
With walls?
In between. It's a class system and a caste system that's entrenched in various walks of our lives. You go to the military headquarters in Pretoria and you find this. It's utterly ridiculous. Why can't they have standard facilities for all? Do you have to have one for the blue blood officers and one for the footmen of the officers and one for whatever? Is this what our democracy is? I don't think so. There are still areas in which we experience, I think, serious trouble. Some refer to it as attitude, but it's change of heart that's needed, mostly. I think, and getting rid of the exploitive way in which some people live. They have a house full of house workers and garden workers. We don't have any. My wife does most of it, but and I think this is a normal society where
and
you.
She's a beautiful gardener.
Yes, she is, and the garden is also beautiful. But you find people that drive around high society in life. It's easy going, and they do it on the backs of other people. And I don't see how you can do that and then sleep well. It's not just a liberal kind of mindset. It's a way of life and practicing what you preach.
My dream is to get into a university, a really good one. I'm thinking studying geology or geophysics. That's really interesting to me. And I'm liking that. And later on in my life, I'd really like to travel.
My dream is to contribute to my country as much as possible and to make my country good for my children to have a successful career and a happy life in South Africa.
If I can leave this world and country and it made a better place for my children I can't see, the great-grandchildren, then I'd be happy.
My dream is to see South Africa really united. And what I mean by united is all the races in South Africa, that they stand together and that they will fight poverty and they will fight also HIV and all this, that we can be united around that theme, that we can have a better South Africa for the future of our kids, for everybody, for all of the people.
Like the Afrikaans people would say, sit on the stoep and have a happy old age with everybody happy and united and just peace and also see a lot of the country still. I haven't seen every little dorp, so I'm hoping somebody is going to buy me a 4x4 so I can travel on the roads that you can't get to.
My dream is to be a good mom and a wife and a friend.